What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? It's in my lip gloss, it's cool. My lip gloss be popping. I'm standing at my locker, and all the boys keep stopping. What you know about me?
But it can really show who's got what. And both teams are getting ready here, and both the Volley Dogs teams are excited to start.
Bulldogs as the Springdale Bulldogs come to town to take on your Fayetteville Volley Dogs. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce your starting lineups first. For Springdale, the captain, number 12, Faith Morgan. Number 14, Carrie Flores. Number 13, Jada Potter. Number 19, Lauren Bench. Number 9, Lily Cooper. Number 15, Tana Miller. And the libero, number 32, Jesslyn Well. Springdale is coached by Megan Thompson, assistant coach, Kylie Ballard. Now, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet and make some noise for your Fayetteville Volley Dogs! Your captain, number 6, Carly Andrew. Number 21, Avery Redford. Number 8, Rosanna Hicks. Number 13, Grayson Spresser. Number 4, Ariana Walter. Number 3, Jaden Weller. And the libero, number 10, Lainey Daniels. Fayetteville is coached by Jessica Phelan, assistant coaches Amanda Williford, Sarah Kincaid, Keely Louig, and Whitney Briner. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise, direct your attention to the east end of the arena, where our nation's colors fly high for the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Ladies and gentlemen, I got 3 words for you. Let's play volleyball!
Excited to see both these teams come out tonight, as I was saying earlier, and excited to see a traditional battle continue here in Bulldog Arena. Any standout players that you're seeing tonight?
Yes, last week we definitely saw 2 players for sure stand up for the aggressive offensive play for Fayetteville. Rosanna Hicks played super well for spiking and everything, and Ariana Watley played amazing, even as a junior, looking like she's played this game for so long. So they upped their offensive game last week. I'm hoping to see them do it again. And Lauren Bench for Springdale, she's tall, she plays that front line really well. I'm expecting to see a lot of spikes from her, a lot of aggressive plays. And Jesslyn Wells, the libero, definitely seeing here expecting her to see her lead her team tonight. Really expecting both teams to be super synergetic. Momentum's going to be huge in this game. Definitely whoever gets the first lead, if you can pull it off to maybe 5 points, I think you're going to have the set pretty dang fast.
Yeah, these two teams look extremely competitive, but both teams look very excited to be out here tonight. I'm excited to see what the Springdale Bulldogs coach, Megan Thompson, has to offer. She seems to know what she's doing out here, coaching her girls even right before the game's starting. But the Volley Dogs seem to come prepared over here on the Fayetteville side and just seem to be ready for whatever's about to happen. They're measuring up the net right now, making sure it's regulation, I believe, and just making sure that everything's A-okay and getting ready for the game. Both teams seem a little impatient. I think they're talking to the players right now about the regulation size nets right now. And we'll wait to see what this is about. This is a little interesting. We haven't had this happen before. And they are still measuring those nets. Both of the officials out there doing that right now. And, well, here's what I think. It's a little interesting to see 3 seniors on the Bulldog team and 5 seniors on the Springdale Bulldog team. And so, leadership-wise, you can't really say anything about that. Both teams seem to be pretty evenly matched, and it'll be exciting to see what they have to offer. We haven't seen this yet, but the Fayetteville team actually seems to kind of keep up with this team in height. The Springdale Fayetteville team pretty much even on both sides in height so far.
Yeah, it'll be also interesting to see both teams with few seniors, how they rotate each senior, making sure at least one of them is out there at all times. We see right now I think there's 2 out of the 3 Fayetteville has, and there's definitely 2 for Springdale. Just rotations are going to be super important for this game, and keeping your team well rested and keeping them motivated.
Yeah, it'll be really important to see. And I believe they're getting ready to serve off the ball. Serving off for us will be the Springdale Bulldogs. Number 12, Faith Morgan, a senior, is serving it off for them. And they are getting ready to start this game. And here we go, the spike going off and serving it right now. Going over to the Fayetteville side. Volleyed up, another volley. A great spike by Fayetteville, but a great deflection by the Springdale Bulldogs for a point for them.
Yeah, it's a huge start showing Fayetteville that they will not take this aggressive play that they've seen from them in the past. Definitely seeing a strong defensive side, even though it's the very beginning of the game. If Springdale can keep this up, I definitely think they have a great chance of winning this game.
It is very interesting to see these two teams face off. Oh, and there's a point for Fayetteville right there with a nice little side shot right there. And that is a point for Fayetteville. It is now 1-1 on both sides. And the Lady Dogs will be serving the ball over to Springdale. The serve being put up, and it is served over the net. Number 19, Lauren Bench, setting the ball and then putting it back over the net to the Fayetteville Bulldogs. And then put over the net once again for a nice spike by the Fayettille Bulldogs. And that seemed a little bit almost lazy of a dig by the Springdale Bulldogs right there.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a point where she just realized she wasn't close enough to it to get it, and there was almost no point for trying to get it. And it also could have been realized it just missed Jumston on the ball. But Fayetteville having this momentum 3 points in a row now, especially with that ace, that's got to be a momentum killer for Springdale. And Volley Dogs just got to keep this going, keep feeling good.
And Carly Unruh with, I believe, 2 points now is just killing the game out here. She with a great serve right over the net and spiked right back over to the Springdale side. It's put over once again, but volleyed up by the Dogs. And it's going over the net once again by the Fayetteville Bulldogs. The ball is still in the air. The Laborer getting the ball up, and it's back over the net, but out on the Springdale Bulldogs. That's a little bit of a sticky situation they got themselves into right there.
Yeah, Springdale looking a little frustrated at the beginning of the game, but they do, I mean, you can definitely tell these two seniors out there for them trying to get their team calmed down and telling them it's the beginning of the game, and then they can get back in it for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, most of all, you got to be really proud of how the Lady Dogs are really out here just putting the fight in. It's now 1-5 for the Lady Dogs, and you just have to, I mean, it's been impressive just to watch them continue to back and forth with the volleyball. And here it is over to the Springdale side. Oh, a little bit of a straightforward volley right there, and that will be another Fayetteville point, making it 6-1, and that's that 5-point lead you were talking about that Fayetteville or Springdale would have to almost close out this set.
Especially with this early timeout call by Springdale, especially since it's only the first set. 6-1 lead. I'm telling you, there's a theory to this. You get to 7 first with at least a 5-point lead. We've seen the majority of teams win the set by doing that. Springdale needs to come up with something big to get back in this game. Down by 5. Fayetteville has scored 6 points in a row now, only 30 seconds left in this timeout. I mean, if I'm honest, if I'm Springdale's coach, you got to tell them they got to get this head in the game and get their head in the game fast. Yeah. You cannot have a slow start against this aggressive Volleyball Dogs team, because the more momentum they get, the more aggressive they play, the better they play. And you cannot have that if you're Coach Thompson.
Oh, for sure. You can't be put on your heels in a situation, so it does need to be a little bit more aggressive for the Springdale side. But I'm sure they can put up the points with the class that they have up here. They're putting out some great players right now, and they're not doing bad or anything. It's just the beginning of the game and getting a little warmed up. Volleyball will be serving them. Fayetteville, my bad, will be serving the ball again from Carly Unruh, going over the net to the Springdale side, and that will be another point for Fayetteville. Great serve right into that nice crisp back of the Springdale side, and Fayetteville will serve it again. Carly Unruh being the server once again.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Springdale definitely thought it was out, just hitting the line. That's what we have these line callers here for. Definitely that would have been called out if you were just the ref sitting there. But those line callers giving Fayetteville that point there, 7-1 now.
A nice tap over the Fayetteville side, having to put that ball back into the air, getting it over the net once again to the Springdale side. The Springdale with a nice dig and a put back over the net. Ooh, Fayetteville saves the ball. Great save right there by Mrs. excuse me.
Lainey Daniels.
Lainey Daniels, sorry, the cough right there. And the ball being put over, that was a great move right there by Fayetteville, putting it back over the net once again. Oh, and Springdale just couldn't get the ball over with enough hits.
Just a slight miscommunication there by Springdale. 8-1 now, I'm telling you. Springdale's got to get something going for them. I mean, even if it's just 1 point, you got to get at least 1 point and attempt to kill some of the Volley Dogs' momentum here. This is going to be an easy set for the Volley Dogs if you don't. It's a big lead, one of the biggest Volley Dogs leads we've seen at a home game, and it's another one, 9-1 now. That's just super impressive by the Volley Dogs, showing that even though they're lost this Tuesday against Bentonville, showed nothing. It's not going to set them back. 9-1 again. Volley Dogs pulling off with some strong momentum at the beginning of this game here.
Carly Unruh making the serve once again over to the Springdale side. Springdale with a nice dig, putting the ball into the air with a good tap over, but can't quite get it. But Springdale puts it back over once again, and Fayetteville's putting that ball over the net again with another dig from Springdale. That ball's going into the air once again, and it is out on Springdale. That'll be a Fayetteville point. The Lady Dogs seem to be a little energetic this game and have a little bit more stature, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Scoring 10 points in a row definitely helps. But just, again, it definitely seems like even at the beginning of the game, they were ready for this Springdale team. And it seems that Springdale is kind of like almost falling asleep a little bit, just almost giving up early. 11-1. Springdale's second, and their only timeout left has just been used. 11-1. Springdale has not scored a point since the very first serve. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, you just have to be surprised by how the Springdale team is reacting to this. I mean, I understand first beginning, maybe a little bit of jitters, anything like that, but you just have to get back up on your feet and start playing. I mean, we're seeing everyone on the court for Fayetteville right now play extremely well. I've been extremely impressed with everyone. Carly and Lainey are doing amazing, but Jaden Weller's also doing great out there, putting all she has out there. Number 13, Madison James, out there representing her class as a junior, and it's just been really impressive to see all these ladies continue to do what they need to do to get these points. Do not forget Rosanna Hicks out there. She's done an outstanding job as a sophomore, and I just continue to watch her do what she needs to do to get those points over. She's done great at blocking for Fayetteville, and Springdale is putting it back some fire from a couple of their players, but I just don't believe that Fayetteville is in a mental state where they want to lose, and I think that's going to continue to they're going to continue to keep that lead that they want.
Yeah, especially 11-1, 10 points is big for this Volley Dogs team. We've only seen them have this lead at a home game once, and that was against Van Buren last week, and they won that set. But they almost lost it to Van Buren. They almost came back.
Another point for Fayetteville. That is making it 12-1. The Fayetteville Bulldogs are up right now in our first set. Carly Unruh, will be serving the ball once again and putting that ball over the net. A great dig right there by Springdale, but putting it over the net once again. A great job getting the ball right back over the net by Springdale, but Fayetteville is going to return the favor and get another point. And that is how it is done on the Fayetteville side. Now,
yeah, you can definitely tell that these long sets Fayetteville just has such control of the entire time. and they just keep putting Springdale on their heels until they just fall over almost and give Fayetteville the point.
Yeah, Fayetteville is just having another point for Fayetteville, making it 14, and it has just gone back and forth constantly, and I can't believe what I'm seeing here. It's a 13-point lead, but almost 14 points in a row now from Fayetteville. Fayetteville putting it over the net again, and that is their first score in quite some time for Springdale right there.
Yeah, that's 14 points to Springdale's 1. And if you're Coach Thompson, you can't have that happen again. You can't even have a 5-1 difference happen again. Fayetteville's now so close to winning the set compared to you. You have to destroy them in these next couple of serves. You have to score at least 5 points against them here before they score 1. Or else you're gonna be in such trouble in this very important first set.
Fayetteville putting the ball over the net once again to Springdale, and Springdale is just not able to keep up. Oh, nice save by Fayetteville, but it's an out in Springdale's point. That is now 2 points in a row for Springdale, and I've been very impressed to watch how Springdale's been playing and these last 2 points. Now, they didn't come out with a lot of momentum, but that does not mean they can't still win this set. It's anybody's game out here.
Yeah, comebacks can happen for sure. We definitely need to find out, just how well the Springdale team can play in this high-pressure situation they're in right now. Pressure is everything in this game, pressure is almost as important as momentum in this game. If you put the pressure on Fayetteville, and if they can't handle it, and you come back against a 15-3 deficit, it proves how good of a coaching staff and how good of a team you are.
And we are seeing the Volley Dogs put the ball over once again. Lainey Daniels will now be serving the ball over the net. A great serve by her, and they're putting the ball over the net once again for the Fayetteville side. Oh, a great play, but Springdale makes an outstanding save to put the ball back onto the Fayetteville side of the court. Fayetteville loses the ball right there, and that is now another point for Springdale. And we are getting another serve from Springdale from number 30 from number 32, Jesslyn Wells. And a great serve by her, put back to her. She returns the favor to Fayetteville with an outstanding dig back over to the net, and Fayetteville returning the favor to her, and now that is a point for Fayetteville. It rolls off the net from number 13, Madison James. Outstanding job by the junior.
Yeah, 16-4. Just Volley Dogs, I don't think I've seen them play this well since the beginning of the season. They haven't played this well all season. This is amazing to see. You can definitely tell that Coach Phelan has done some hard work with these kids. Just super impressive to see them play this well so early on. We've seen Fayetteville get a lot of slow starts in their home games. Definitely you can tell that this is not one of those games. Another point for Fayetteville, 17-4, hit out by Springdale. Again, Volley Dogs putting that pressure on, like I talked earlier. Springdale's just on their heels constantly right now. 17-4, a 13-point lead. We've never seen a lead this big by Fayetteville. It'll be impressive to see if Springdale can come back.
And Springdale puts the ball over the net to Fayetteville, and now we are seeing another spike from Fayetteville. Oh, in the return. Oh, and a great play, but Springdale will get that point. That was an outstanding job and got Fayetteville on their heels a little bit, and that is affecting the backcourt of the Fayetteville team. They just need a little recovery, and they're in a very comfortable situation to where points don't bother them that much. And now we are getting another serve from the Springdale side from number 19, Lauren Bench. She gets a not that good of a serve over there, and that will be another Fayetteville point.
Yeah, that's got to be the frustrating, just kicking in, not realizing how hard you're hitting it over the net there. Just out. Number 13 for Fayetteville is now serving. Madison James, we saw her serve a lot last week. She did really well. So did the entire Fayetteville team. Again, 18-5, sorry. And just, it's a point for Springdale, 18-6 now. But Springdale's got a lot of work to do if they're going to win this set.
Yeah, for sure. And the Fayetteville team's all playing very evenly right now. Everyone contributing their part and doing an outstanding job. It's been impressive to watch. Sneaking out tonight is Madison James. She's done an outstanding job down there. She's scored a couple points for the Fayetteville Dogs and has served a couple times so far, and we've seen her make her debut, but a great and outstanding game so far. The Fayetteville team putting the ball back over to Springdale, but that will be an out on Fayetteville and a point to the Springdale team. Springdale is now down 7-18 and slowly climbing back up that scoreboard.
Yeah, but looking at these Springdale players' faces, you can definitely see the frustration. Every point is almost like 2 steps backwards once this Fayetteville, because this Fayetteville team is playing so well right now that as soon as they score 1, it's like 3 steps back. But again, 19-7, just like I said, Fayetteville scores another point.
Fayetteville very aware right there of that out. And good call. Claire Cooper will be serving the ball over the net, and she gets ready to serve that ball as she spins it in her hands. And we will start this serve over to the net. Nice return by Springdale, getting put over right now. Great tap, and that will be a point to the Springdale side. A little lack of communication by the Fayetteville team, but nothing they can't recover from. And
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sorry about that, but Fayetteville, communication-wise, has been amazing. Their hitting errors, I think they have 3, and they have 19 points, which is super impressive. I mean, again, they're playing really well offensively, making Springdale play defensively, which we know the Springdale team does not like to do. A hard spike there on the floor.
And a little miscommunication by that Springdale team.
20-8 now. Volley Dogs need 5 points to win it, and Springdale's not even at 10 points yet.
Yes, and we got a sub back in, number 32, Jesslyn Wells being put back out on the court for Springdale. And this is Jaden Weller will be putting that ball back over the net for Fayetteville. A great putback by Springdale right here, rolls over the net. Fayetteville returning the favor with a great spike, and that will be an out on Mrs. Unruh, and we are going to see a bit of a competition here. I mean, it is still a big point deficit, 11 points, so you're not going to make a really good comeback here. You might mentally start being prepared for that next set for Springdale.
Yeah, I feel like Fayetteville's really taking the Springdale team by surprise in this first set. They definitely weren't prepared for this, such an aggressive team. That will be a point for Springdale. Finally at 10 points. I mean, that's 3 points in a row now. 10-point deficit. That's the lowest we've seen since Fayetteville was at 16 points.
And there is another serve from the Springdale side going back over to him. A great putback by Fayetteville, but Springdale saving that. A nice tap back over and a little bit of a mishit right there by Fayetteville. Lainey Daniels diving out for that ball. But that will be another Springdale point for them, and now it is only a 9-point game for Springdale.
Yeah, Springdale definitely looking a little calmer right now, just getting their momentum back slowly. Fayetteville had a little communication there that not a lot of people will notice on the double block. Number 21, Avery Redfern, went up a little later than her partner did. I could not see the numbers, so I won't be able to call that out. But it was, I mean, just a little miscommunication. They did come back with a point now, 21-11. I do think the Volley Dogs will win this set.
Ooh,
but that's got to be tough with that serving
error.
error.
Carly Unruh getting a serve right into the net, and there's a rotation going on right now for the Springdale Bulldogs. Number 8, Mrs. I'm sorry, we do not have her number on our roster right now. I believe Mrs. Ainsley Thresher will be serving the ball over to the Volley Dogs. Oh, a close one for the Volley Dogs, saving it from going out, putting it back over the net once again. A risky save by the Springdale team, and then Springdale putting it over the net.
A good save there by Fayetteville.
Yes, but a risky one almost too. And Lainey Daniels putting that ball up into the air to number 13. Oh, and it is back up in the air for Springdale. A great volley we're having right now. Still going back and forth, Jaden Weller with the hit up, and it's going back to the Springdale side, and that will be a nice hit for Mrs.
Rosanna Hicks.
Yeah, Rosanna Hicks, excuse me. And then Claire Cooper will now be being subbed out of the game, going to the bench for number 4, Anera Walter. And we're seeing the 2 juniors out on the court. I think 3 juniors out on the court right now. And the ball will be served over once again from the Fayetteville side to the Springdale side. And that is a point for the Springdale side. A close call by the line caller right there.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that long volley just now. We saw Fayetteville was on their heels for almost 80% of that, and they came back and almost just showed them how well they can play on these long volleys, and just played so well there towards the end, making great saves and hitting it over and getting this important point. 23-13. It seems that they've shut down Springdale's momentum and are going 1-1 now, keeping this 10-point lead.
Now number 20, Sadie Thompson, and number 2, Amelia Watley put into the game as substitutions, and Miss Sadie will serve the ball over but hits the net. She knows it's her fault and calls it out, and now the team's huddling up and talking it through and getting back onto their sides. They're putting the ball over to the Springdale side from a serve from number 19, Lauren Bench, who's been serving most of the night for the Springdale Bulldogs, and we are getting ready to start this one off. And that is a nice serve by the Springdale side, being put back by the Fayetteville side. And it's a point to the Springdale side right there.
Seems like one of them just maybe nicked the net there. I couldn't really tell what happened. Point to Springdale, though. Definitely a momentum killer. It was definitely a point for Fayetteville. We saw the strong spike there by Ariana Walter called by. That's why we have the refs here to make those strong plays. Ariana Walter definitely shows that it did not affect her. Hitting the exact same hit, nailing it down. With, 24-15 now, 9-point deficit. It's going to be interesting to see if Springdale can, score 9 points without letting Fayetteville score 1.
Yeah, we haven't seen that happen yet. And Springdale putting the ball over with a nice tip. Springdale said, oh, and that will be a Fayetteville point to win the first set, I believe. And now we'll be going into our second set. Both teams seem relaxed and calm as they switch sides right now. And we are getting ready to start the next set here. Great set, great beginning to how to start it off, and I'm excited to see what this next set has to offer. The Springdale side actually seems like they could have hung in there if they could have had that momentum that they had towards the end. They were on quite a roll for a little bit, but they just couldn't seem to keep up with the Fayetteville side.
Yeah, Springdale definitely had a slow start. They did seem to eventually be able to play toe-to-toe with Fayetteville, but Fayetteville was already too close to win for them to be able to do that. If I'm Fayetteville's coach, the only thing I would tell my team is get consistent on those serves. If you got consistent on those serves, that's a potential way faster win for the set. Springdale's got to they've had so many hitting errors so far. That's how Fayetteville, got, I think, 7 of their points was through hitting errors, which is a big thing. You can't allow your team to make those. Coach Thompson definitely has to have their team just focus on. They got to play almost more aggressive than Fayetteville has, which is going to be really hard to do. And it'll be a fun one to watch.
Yes, and we are watching right now, just a second ago, the Fayetteville student section having fun out here, and now a little boy excited to be at the volleyball game, it seems, in his Minecraft t-shirt, seeing the camera right on him and now escaping back up the bleachers to his sister. I'm excited to see just the student section, and they're out here supporting their team, they're out here supporting the Volley Dogs, and it'll be exciting to see how into it they get, because little do many people know, once they come to a volleyball game, it actually gets pretty intense sometimes, and you get really into it really quickly.
Definitely. Volleyball, not a lot of people think it, but it's almost one of the most intense sports I've ever seen. It can get so close, and it can get so fast-paced. You almost are on the edge of your seat the entire time you're watching it. But again, especially for their Fayetteville's last game against Van Buren, it was a close one the first 2 sets, and Fayetteville just managed to figure something out and pulled away in the last 2. But those first 2 sets, I was on the edge of my seat watching the whole time. It was super impressive to watch, and especially Fayetteville coming out looking better than ever. I'm very impressed.
And we see the Fayetteville side is already out onto the court with 50 seconds on the clock, and the Springdale side is seeming to have quite a bit of a coaching talk right now after that last set, which is understandable, but seems to be not fully there almost, kind of a little bit slow, I guess. Not slow necessarily, but just a little lacking of confidence, which, after a set like that, it's understandable too. But now we are going to see what the Volley Dogs have to offer to Springdale, and if Springdale can really come back. And we have Coach Thompson for Springdale right now, coaching up her team and clapping them up, getting them a little bit excited to come out for this next set, and this will be our second set of the night. Fayetteville, all they have to do is win 2 more, and that is what you would call a quick game for Fayetteville.
Yeah, if you're Springdale, you have to start out this second set. You got to put that first set behind you, and you've got to start this second set strong, fast. If you have a slow start like you did, I think Fayetteville's just going to do the same thing they did to you at the beginning of the first set. Fayetteville, again, if they get their serving down, I think this game is super winnable for them. Springdale has to improve a lot, but I do believe they can do it. It still should be a close match coming into this second set. If I had to put my money on someone, I honestly wouldn't know who to choose if Springdale makes these important improvements.
Yes, and we are getting ready to start off our second set right here. Fayetteville will be serving, and Jaden Weller will be the one serving the ball, the senior from Fayetteville, getting ready to put the ball over the net, and she is getting ready to put it over, and there it is, folks, and now it's going up into the air. Springdale returning the ball over to the Fayetteville side right here. Fayetteville following it up, a nice spike by Fayetteville right there. Oh, a close save by Springdale, but they can't quite get it back over that net, and that will be a Fayetteville point.
Yeah, we see Rosanna Hicks. Again, we talked about how aggressive she was able to play last game. Definitely showing that she's not, it wasn't a fluke. She's definitely ready to do it every game in the future. Playing super well so far, along with Lainey Daniels and Jaden Weller, showing, that their team is just super well balanced and how good they are, no matter what age you are and how tall you are.
Yes, and the Springdale side having a little lack of communication right there for that point for Fayetteville. And Springdale putting the ball over once again to the Fayetteville side. Great save by Fayetteville, getting ready to put it over the net right here. A great, that will be a Springdale point right there.
Yeah, 2-1. Fayetteville's got to be frustrated by that. But if you're Springdale, that's what you need. You need to make the serve that you have now count and get this point, and maybe score even another to get the lead for the first time in this game.
Oh, amazing move by Fayetteville right there, putting that ball perfectly to where they needed it. Springdale can't quite get it over with a bad hit on the ball, and that'll be another Fayetteville point, making it 3-1. The Fayetteville Bulldogs will be up.
Yeah, 3-1. Again, Springdale's got to get, if they got the serve, they have to play as aggressive as they can to get these points. So you got to put Fayetteville on their heels.
Unruh serving the ball over right there. Great serve once again.
A good double block there from Avery Redfern and Rosanna Hicks. A good save as well. Again, they're putting the Springdale team on their heels again, just like they did in the first set. I'm willing to bet that Fayetteville wins this volley right here.
And that is an outstanding move right there. Springdale seeming to have issues with keeping that ball in front of them and almost hitting it back to their own sideline.
Yeah, it might be the frustration, it might be the exhaustion. I can't really tell. It might be a little bit of both, actually. Even though it's the second set, having that big of a deficit that first set's got to wear you out almost, having to play so hard. I really think that Fayetteville, if they keep up what they're doing, they'll win this set as well.
And right there, we're getting a little bit of a close call with the ball coming right towards us once again. And we are having a Fayetteville serve right there by Carly Unruh, putting the ball over. And Springdale putting it back to Fayetteville. Can't quite get it over, and it is sky high into the air. And another point for Fayetteville right there. Springdale almost seems to crowd the ball once it gets around them and not give themselves space to play. Number 5, Claire Cooper, will be subbing in right here for Carly Unruh right now.
I definitely think that Springdale might just be, because they don't want to let that happen to them. They don't want to let what happened to them in the first set, sorry about that, happen again in the second set. So it almost seems that they all want to take personal responsibility for catching up, and that's why they're crowding around the ball so much.
Another point for Fayetteville right there as Springdale hits it out of bounds. And it seems like Springdale's calling a timeout. They're a little tired of being put on their heels, and now Fayetteville will be up 7-1, and they have that lead that they need that you were talking about earlier that tends to be a decider on who's going to win the set.
Yeah, especially, they're up 6 points. This is the same score we had in the first set. Again, Springdale didn't score the first point this time, but another timeout called by Springdale. And if they use their timeouts early like they did last set, I don't know how that's going to work out for them towards the end.
And Fayetteville already back out on the court early, just like they were at the beginning of this set, as Springdale continues to talk it out with 26 seconds left on that timeout clock. And it is right now 7-1. Springdale is down, and the Fayetteville Bulldogs are continuing to have the lead that they've just held on to through both sets. I think we've seen Springdale come up on top. They've had a lead for twice in this entire match, and it's right at the beginning. It's the first 2 points of both sets, and they need to put more points up if they're going to compete with this Fayetteville team.
Yes.
Claire Cooper will be serving the ball up once again, and we're about to start our set back up after that quick timeout by Springdale. Claire Cooper putting the ball up. Number 12 from Springdale putting the ball over, and that's an out on Springdale, a point for Fayetteville.
Yeah, Springdale, again, has had the lead once this entire game, and it's been a 1-0 lead against Fayetteville. And that can be frustrating for sure. And then the rest, they've been down by over 5 points.
And that's what's been happening to Springdale. It seems like multiple times now, that ball being hit and just going right back into the stands. And now Claire Cooper will be doing her fourth serve so far after that timeout. And she's done an outstanding job so far of getting that ball over the net, just like she needs to do in her job, needs her to do. And so the Bulldogs put the ball up once again. Springdale putting the ball up to Fayetteville. Great play by Springdale right there. Lainey Daniels can't quite get under the ball, and that will be a Springdale point. The second point of the set so far for Springdale.
Yeah, Laning Daniels she still seemed happy after that, knowing that they've played so well this far. She accepted that it was her fault, and it almost looks like she was at practice just having fun.
Yes, it does, and it's nice to see the team working together very well right now and playing outstanding together. A great play by Fayetteville right there, putting the ball back to Springdale, but Springdale's going to return the favor and get an outstanding point right there. Nice play by Springdale to get the ball in that corner in the back of the playing zone.
Yeah, you definitely, if you can keep up more of those hits or just hard spikes like that in general, you're definitely going to catch up to this Fayetteville team, and they played super aggressive right there. They got to do that again with their serve here. And if they can, I definitely think they're going to come back and almost win this set if they keep playing this well.
A dangerous play right there by Fayetteville, barely getting that ball back over the net, and Springdale coming back to return the favor. Fayetteville right now putting the ball back to Springdale, and that will be a Fayetteville point with the double block attempt by Springdale. Can't quite get over that net when Springdale tries to defend the ball.
Yeah, and it might just be the height of Fayetteville and how high their verticals are. We can definitely tell a lot of their players are able to get over this net and spike it hard. And spike it hard enough that that double block is just bounced out. And another point for Fayetteville, 11-3 now. It's almost the same score we saw in the first set where Fayetteville just kept pulling away fast and Springdale attempting to come back slowly.
And right there, that was the fourth time that's happened to the Springdale sideline. Not sideline, excuse me, the Springdale side. And that is now Fayetteville's 11th point, as you were saying. And Fayetteville getting ready to have to defend right here. And that will be on the line in another point for Springdale. A little bit of a debatable call, but I mean, that's what they're there for, to make sure they get the view that we do not have. That is another point for Springdale. It is now 11-4, and the Volley Dogs are still holding their lead that they've had throughout this set. The Volley Dogs putting the ball up. Jane Weller getting the ball up to play on the Springdale side. Oh, a great play by Springdale right now, just shoving the ball straight over. A great spike by Fayetteville. And that will be an outstanding save by Springdale, keeping the ball alive. Fayetteville trying to get that point, and they have exactly what they need. Number 4, Araya Walter right there having an outstanding play, and they're continuing to do what they need to do. Right now, Clary Flanagan and also Ariel Higginbottom subbing in for the Fayetteville side, and they're getting ready to continue to just pound the Springdale team in this set.
Yeah, you could definitely see in that last volley that Fayetteville was able to keep Springdale on their heels, not letting them get any traction in that volley at all, so they could stay on the just demanding side of things and eventually just put that ball on the ground where it belongs.
Great play by Fayetteville right there, just tapping the ball over right there. That's what they need to continue doing and keep playing like. Number 19 area will be serving the ball once again to the Springdale side and giving that ball to the Springdale team. And now the Springdale side having 5 points, the Volley Dogs having 13. And the Fayetteville side seeming very confident to themselves.
Yeah, Fayetteville again playing super strong so far in this second set, playing almost as well as they did in the first. Springdale, I mean, they've seemed to be able to keep the lead a little shorter, but it's still a big lead. 8 points is super hard to come back from. 9 points now. Fayetteville playing super well. They're playing almost an aggressive defense when Springdale has put them on their heels almost. And it's worked out really well for them. 14-5 now. Again, just super well played by Fayetteville. Springdale got to make some adjustments and fast before Fayetteville gets super high up, before Fayetteville gets to 20 again, before Springdale's even at double digits. That's what happened in the first set. It could happen again in the second, and if I do think that happens and Fayetteville plays this consistent the entire game, they'll have one of their almost an easy win.
Flanagan getting a point right there. And Flanagan and Walter have had an outstanding job of tipping that ball right over the net, and they've scored 2 points, I believe, doing that so far in this set. And Fayetteville continues to work that magic that they've been working so far, while they are up by 10 points, 15-5 on the Springdale Bulldogs.
Yeah, definitely. Fayetteville, again, with those double blocks, playing them almost like aggressively, has worked really well for them. That was out. It'll be a point to Springdale, a point they need so bad. 9-point deficit that they're under, 15-6. Again, just Fayetteville playing extremely well. Springdale almost, again, looks like they're exhausted already so early in this game.
Yes, they almost seem like they have no enthusiasm too. It seems a little bit of a mix of both, and Springdale will be putting that ball over to the Fayetteville side. Unruh getting the ball over to the Springdale side with a tip off of number 32, Jesslyn Wells, and that will now be a point for Fayetteville. The girls are all subbing in, and we are continuing this set. And the Fayetteville Bulldogs seem to just keep pounding it to Springdale. Now, still up 10 points. It's been a 10-point game for about 5 points now. Back and forth 10-point game. And Fayetteville will be serving that ball over to Springdale. Now, Springdale's doing an outstanding job of getting that ball over to the Fayetteville side of the net. Sadie getting the ball over to the Springdale side, and that will be a Fayetteville point.
Yeah, Fayetteville looked almost amazed that that miss hit worked out for them. I don't think actually Springdale was ready for it. They all backed up for the spike and didn't expect just a slight hitting error there to actually score Fayetteville a point. 11-point lead now. It's almost hard to explain how well this Fayetteville team is playing. I mean, they've played super well offensively, super well defensively. Hitting errors are just not happening for this Fayetteville team. I mean, serving errors aren't happening either. This Fayetteville team has almost looked perfect in the second set.
And excuse me, that last point was scored by Madison James. And she's done an outstanding job tonight, as we were saying earlier, just keeping the ball alive. Springdale putting the ball over by hitting straight into the white part of that net. Can't get it quite over. Jaden Weller will be subbing in, and also will Rosanna Hicks, two outstanding players for the Fayetteville Bulldogs. Perry Flanagan will be subbing out, and also number 19, Ariel Higginbottom will also be subbing out.
Yeah, Springdale getting that serve finally after so long of just Fayetteville pounding under their points, and then having a serving error like that, giving the ball right back to them, has to be so frustrating. You can see it in their faces, and it almost makes you more tired thinking about what you could do better, but you just don't know how to fix it.
Hicks with another point right there, doing an outstanding job of spiking the ball throughout the game. And it seems that Springdale has called another timeout, their second of the set. It is now 19-7, and Fayetteville is just pounding the win, as I've been saying this entire set, to the Springdale team.
Yeah, almost Fayetteville's making this look like not a rivalry at all. But if I'm Springdale, I think I would have called that timeout when the Volley Dogs were at 15 points, not 19, when you could actually have almost a potential comeback, not having to play super out of your minds to make a 19-7 comeback. At 15 points, they were down by, I think it was 8 and not 12. I think it would have been easier to call the timeout there, talk to your team and get them ready. I also just think that Fayetteville playing so well doesn't even need a timeout. They haven't called a one timeout this entire game so far, and it's almost the end of the second set. Playing so well, I'm almost running out of I'm almost running out of things to say. This Fayetteville team has played so well.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about the student section. They're also having fun over there doing the Macarena for a little bit during this little timeout break, and some people were doing it, some people were not fazed by it at all, but Jade Weller will be serving for us right here once again after that timeout. She's getting ready, bouncing that ball and serving it over the net to the Springdale side. Springdale returning it to Fayetteville, but a great save by Fayetteville. Springdale saving it, but that will be an out on Springdale and a Fayetteville point, making it 20-7. The Volley Dogs continue to keep the lead that they have wanted this entire set.
Yeah, Volley Dogs. We watched that ball float down. It's almost the thing that Jaden Weller stayed under until last second that she realized it was going out. Well, I mean, just good game awareness, realizing where she was on the court. A good spike by Avery Redfern, 21-7, a 14-point lead now. We haven't seen a lead this big yet in the game.
A massive spike right there. Outstanding job by Avery getting that ball over the net with a grand spike. That will be an out on Fayetteville, giving Springdale their 8th point of the set, but nowhere, I mean, that's nothing to compare to Fayetteville's 21 that they have right now.
No, we talked about how last set that Springdale didn't even get above double digits by the time Fayetteville reached 20. Springdale's at 8 points and Fayetteville's at 21. And now they're at 22.
They just
3
can't.
points for Fayetteville to win it, and there's 2 points for Springdale just to get to 10.
And the Fayetteville substitution, Amelia Watley will be going into the game. And now Carly Unruh will be serving the ball for Fayetteville, who's done an outstanding job so far tonight. Puts the ball over the net. And that will be another Fayetteville point, a little lack of communication on the Springdale side. And now it is 23-8. Springdale is just getting pounded by the Fayetteville Bulldogs.
I gotta say, Fayetteville, they're making so many substitutions. It's almost like they're trying players out. That's how much of a lead they have. They've subbed in. It's almost like they're subbing in people every couple points. I mean, keeping their players fresh and just testing new players is super, super impressive by Coach.
A miscommunication right there between Carly Unruh and Laney Daniels, but they're fine and recover from it, knowing that the lead is a little bit of a cushion for that, and they can work it out during practice too. Everyone seems to be very calm on the Fayetteville side. Every substitution, every player's been putting their all into it, and it seems like Fayetteville has a very equipped team with all loadouts here for Fayetteville. Fayetteville putting the ball over to the Springdale side. Springdale having a little bit of an error right there into the net once again. That is another Fayetteville point, making it 24-9. One more point, and Fayetteville will have their second set underneath their hand.
Imagine if Fayetteville wins this set without letting Springdale get to 10 points.
Absolutely shutting them out is what, I mean, they just can't, they just won't be able to compete.
Fayetteville is definitely showing where they're 3-time state champions.
Oh, definitely. And Fayetteville putting that ball right back over to Springdale. Oh, and right there, once again, they've done an outstanding job of doing that all night. We've seen different combos and different duos of women doing that all night, and that is now Fayetteville's 25th point to end that set. The girls will be switching sides, and Fayetteville has blown out Springdale so far, having 2 sets on Springdale 0.
Yeah, looking at this coaching staff, it almost, for Springdale, it almost looks like they don't know what to tell their team anymore. They've realized how good this Fayetteville team is, and they just don't know what to tell them at all.
And now we are continuing this. The Springdale team still putting in a lot of effort, having a bit of an issue, but I'm interested to see what Springdale can do out here, and it'll be interesting to see the student section getting very into the camera work, it seems, on the big screen and having a lot of fun out here.
Yeah, Springdale, in their moments, has played well, though. We can't deny that. Volleyballs have played super good, definitely showing whether 3-time state champs. Springdale has played well, though, against this strong Fayetteville team.
And the chicken dance seems to be going on in both the Fayetteville huddle a little bit. I saw some girls doing the chicken dance. And then also the Fayetteville student section seems to have one man going up against everyone doing his own chicken dance, which doesn't seem to be the very traditional way, but he's having a lot of fun doing it right here. I don't know what he's quite doing. He also has really cool Ninja Turtle pants on, so
can I have those Ninja Turtle pants?
Yeah, I know, right? They're pretty cool. And now we are getting back into the second set. Everyone gets very excited when they're on the big screen. And I don't know what that is, but he's definitely making it known that we're from Arkansas. And now we will Fayetteville's already back out onto the court. And the student section is very excited for this third set. And I assume Fayetteville is too. They definitely want to take another win of a set. I mean, if you win this set, you could just end the game and it'd be over. A quick day, and you would be out of here before 8 o'clock almost. And make it a very quick and simple day for the Fayetteville team. And the Fayettille student section would love it because maybe they'd go work on homework. Yeah, that's not going to happen probably. But
it's almost hard not to be biased towards Fayetteville in this match, seeing how well they've played. Springdale, though, in their moments again, they've played well. We've seen Lauren Benj making some spikes for the team. Jesslyn Wells trying to lead her team as a libero, trying to come back almost in this third set. This third set is probably the most important for Springdale. If they're going to make this a draw, you have to win this. Each set is life or death now. You cannot make mistakes. If you make a mistake, it's almost like Fayetteville pounces on it and scores 5 points off of it.
The Springdale team trying to get a little bit of enthusiasm, but Springdale saying very unenthusiastic, and we are waiting for Springdale to put it into the game right now. And we are getting ready to start this third period here. Springdale serves the ball over to the Fayetteville side. Fayetteville putting the ball over, and a great point by Fayetteville.
Great point by Avery Redfern.
And now that will be another point for the Volley Dogs, doing an outstanding job. Actually, this is the first time Fayetteville's taken a lead for the first point of any period so far. And now we're getting another putback from Springdale over to the Fayetteville side. Fayetteville seems unfazed by it, though, and puts the ball up to the Springdale side. Outstanding save by Springdale, and that will be a point by Fayetteville with a good call of an out shot.
Yeah, Springdale definitely played really well, though, with that good save. Good reaction time. Just the ball was hit so hard that even if you put no force into it, it just bounces barely out. Could have been a great point for Springdale, sorry.
And Springdale right there, oh, getting a point off of Fayetteville by a bit of a almost held back bit of a, excuse me, I have to get this ball. And the
Checking in, number 8, George, number 24, Johnson.
And now we got the ball out of our desk. It was a little, I didn't know where to put the ball.
I wanted to play volleyball.
Yeah. Get out there on the court and help both teams out a little bit. Springdale putting the ball over to Fayetteville side, but getting another out off a serve once again. Can't quite get that serve down for the Springdale side. That will now be 3 points to Springdale's 1 for Fayetteville, and they continue to keep it up.
Sorry, Fayetteville has 3 points compared to Springdale's 1.
Excuse me right there. And Springdale putting the ball back up to Fayetteville right here, and that's another point for Springdale right there. Laney Daniels saw the ball going out, but it barely nicked that line, and that will be a point for Springdale.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in that 3-minute break, but Coach Thomas for the Springdale team definitely has told some of their team to get them fired up again. They're looking calm. They're looking ready to play. Jessen Wells serving again, playing so well. Fayetteville looking a little frustrated, having Springdale tie them up for the first time in since the first set almost.
Yes, it is, and right now we're going to have to see Fayetteville make some big changes right here they just mentally have to get in the mindset to where they can compete against these girls. And that's another point for Fayetteville, making it look very simple and very easy, not having any trouble with getting that ball down over the net. And Springdale's going to have to recover from that. They seem to gain a little momentum, and then they just slip off just a little bit. But if they can just keep up that momentum that they have, I believe that they can keep themselves in this game.
Yeah, Springdale, nothing you can do. Jumped up for the double block, but just a soft hit from Ariana Walter. Point going to Fayetteville, 5-3 now. Still is a close third set. Springdale definitely not having a late start like they did this first 2. I'm super excited to see, since Springdale started off so strong right now, just to see what they can do playing at their full potential.
Springdale putting the ball back over to Fayetteville. Springdale getting that save down on the ground. Springdale putting it over to Fayetteville once again, and Fayetteville spiking that ball to Springdale. Great block by Springdale, and that will be Springdale's point. The girls have to recover on the Fayetteville side. They seem a little irritated by the ref's call right there. They're going to have to shake that off. Springdale getting very excited about getting that point, but at this point you have to be excited about any point you can get on Fayetteville. The Volley Dogs are still up 5-4, but Springdale will be putting that serve over to Fayetteville.
Yeah, Springdale almost looked like Fayetteville there on that long volley. They were on their heels, and then they made that amazing save and came back super strong. 5-5 now. Springdale, it looks like they're a whole different team right now, tying it up. Normally they're down 7-1 by this point. Super impressive to see. They haven't even used a timeout yet, which is also amazing. Again, Springdale playing super well so far. Fayetteville's got to find something to break through them again.
Oh, and Amelia Watley getting a great point right there for Fayetteville, getting right in between the 2 blockers' hands and it rolling off and hitting that ground just for a nice simple. Another point for Fayetteville. It is only 6-5 right now, and the Fayetteville Bulldogs will have to keep up against, continue to just get these points that they need against the Springdale team. Fayetteville doing a great job of communication right here, spiking that ball, but Springdale is not done yet. They get that ball barely over the net. Amelia Watley can't quite get over that ball. And now
Amelia
that will be
just looking for that fast spike there, just making Springdale not ready for it. Hits the top of the net, won't go over. Jocelyn Wells played really well there, the Springdale libero, saving the ball, I think, twice there in that volley. And it seems that, again, Springdale's playing toe-to-toe with Fayetteville right now.
Yes, and both teams are continuing to compete right here. We might have ourselves a pretty long set if it continues to go like this, unlike the other first 2 where Fayetteville was just absolutely dominating and Springdale was struggling a little bit to make those comebacks with a lack of motivation almost for them.
Yeah, Fayetteville, they look like they've played the entire time, But Springdale almost looks like they've just had 3 hours of practice and they've come out and just started playing at their level. Springdale almost looks like that they could beat this Fayetteville team at this point. It's super impressive to see all their players playing at the same level right now, just at the same pace. Fayetteville winning that long volley they need. Avery Redford subbing in. Claire Cooper subbing in for Ariana Walter too.
That was a very long serve by both teams. Springdale putting out their best effort right there. It has to be hard and mentally a little frustrating to not be able to keep that lead that you, I'm not lead, but just like when a volley's like that, just not be able to have it completely. Springdale putting that ball over on Fayetteville, and the girls will put it back over to the Springdale side. The Springdale girls putting it over to Fayetteville. Fayetteville having to set up for another big play. Oh, absolutely outstanding fake right there by Madison James, and that will be a point for the Fayetteville team, making it 8-6. Springdale is now down by 2 to the Fayetteville Bulldogs.
Yeah, Springdale was not ready for that. We saw number 19, Lauren Bench, one of Springdale's seniors, go down hard, almost hearing her hit the wood that hard. It's got to be a tough hit. Let's hope it doesn't shake her.
Oh, and right there, another point for the Fayetteville team. I didn't see a Springdale player hit that ball. Interesting call. It definitely seemed to go out, but that's why we have the refs here to make sure to call what's in and what's out. The Fayetteville team putting that ball over to the Springdale team. Springdale getting ready to put it back over on this third hit. Claire Cooper putting that ball up, and we will have Unruh putting the ball over to the Springdale side, and it is blocked out of bounds for a Fayetteville point, now making it 10-6 as the Fayetteville team crawls away from a pretty close set so far.
Yeah, it seemed that when Fayetteville scored their 9th point, Springdale was even a little confused on the call. Even the coaches were. Fayetteville took it, but it looked like they were almost questioning the referee's call there. Springdale not letting it affect them, even though Fayetteville scored the point after that. 7-10 now. Springdale's played super well in this third set, knowing that it's life or death. You've got to win this game. It'll be huge for you winning this rivalry or even tying it. Fayetteville, again, 3-time state champs. If you beat this team, it's just impressive.
And now another point for the Fayetteville team. And the thing with Fayetteville is they have to finish. They've had a struggle in the past couple games of finishing, and they definitely have to make sure that they do that, because it doesn't matter what the score is. They could still, if they win this set, they have a possibility of tying this entire match. So Fayetteville really needs to kick it in right here. Jaden Weller will be serving for the Fayetteville side and gets ready to put the ball over, and we are back into play. The volleyball, nicks off of the Springdale players with a little bit of miscommunication. And now that will be another point for the Bulldogs, Fayetteville Bulldogs. And now it is 12-7. Fayetteville is up.
Yeah, Faith Morgan took the blame there. A little miscommunication between her and Justin Wells. They did look strong, though. Definitely you can see that the Springdale team is close. Taking the blame for a tiny mistake like that, even though it's such a close game. Or such an important set right now, sorry. The fact that Springdale is so calm about that is super impressive about this team.
And now we continue to have the Fayetteville Bulldogs student section getting a very good mood, and they are ready for this set to continue. 18 seconds left on that timeout. And I don't believe the team used that full timeout, and now we will have the Volley Dogs putting up another serve to the Springdale Bulldogs. And we are back with Jaden Weller putting up the serve. Right there, the Springdale Dogs getting a great spike right there, but just can't finish it. Springdale putting that ball up into the air. That third hit's going to go over to the Fayetteville side. Lainey Daniels with the save, put it by Jaden Weller to Unruh, and now that is off the net, and they couldn't quite get it there. And that is another Springdale point, 8-13, and it is close.
Yeah, those outlines in the net definitely showing us whether that ball was out or not. Definitely that shows why it's such an important part of the game. 13-8, just Fayetteville's played well. Springdale's played even better than they have. And the
past two
first
sets,
two, the past two sets all together. Just super impressive to see that Coach Thomas and Coach Ballard just can coach this team so well and make quick changes like that.
The Fayetteville team had a little bit of miscommunication on that last point, but Fayetteville comes to return the favor, gets it knocked off the Springdale player's hand, and that is now another point for Fayetteville. Fayetteville continuing to pound in this win, and that they're basically just pounding the fact that they want this win and they want to continue this win. And now Fayetteville will be serving the ball back over to the Springdale side. It is out, and it was a great call by Springdale on that out call, and now it will be 2 substitutions in for the Springdale team as Fayetteville gets set for this next little rally they're about to have against the Springdale team. And Springdale will be serving the ball on their side, gets the ball over the net, and now the Fayetteville team will have to be quick and react on their feet, and they do exactly that as Springdale puts that ball over the net one more time. Ooh, Claire Cooper with the attempt at a dig right there. Couldn't quite get it off the ground. Good attempt at a save, good hustle, but that will be another Springdale point, making it 14-11. The Fayetteville Bulldogs are up.
Yeah, Springdale, that's a huge point for them. Scoring 3 points in a row now, showing Fayetteville that they do not mess around. You know, we're seeing some really good synergy. A 4th point, 14-12. I mean, Springdale's playing super well.
Ooh,
Coach Phelan
right
needs to call a timeout. Obviously, if I'm Coach Phelan, you got to tell your team to calm down, quit making these small mistakes that are scoring them points.
Yeah, almost young, not mentally prepared mistakes. When we know the Fayetteville team is prepared to make, is prepared for not making these mistakes, and they've been coached not to make them. The Fayetteville team already back onto the court. Always quick talks from Coach Phelan, and the Springdale team always seems to take quite a while to get their talks done with. Might just be the difference in years of coaching for both teams. But now the Springdale team is very excited to get back out on that court. It is 14-12. It could go either way in this set. We haven't seen anyone take a huge lead or anything like that.
Yeah, Springdale, I mean, you can tell how much excitement they have to playing this coach is such a good Fayetteville team. Springdale, obviously a very good team as well. But having this momentum is super key. It's key. It's really good right here. Sorry about that. I think Coach Thomas is she's got to tell her team just to stay calm but keep the fire going.
And that is another point for the Springdale team right there, making it 13-14. Ooh, rolls over the net, a point for Springdale, and that is now 14-14. The Springdale Bulldogs have tied it with the Fayetteville Bulldogs. We've only seen them catch up to the Fayetteville Bulldogs twice now, and that will be the second time we've seen Springdale climb up the scoreboard just to compete with this Fayetteville team. Right here would be the first lead Springdale takes if they can get it over the net, but they just can't do it once again. And now that is another Fayetteville point, making it 15-14. We see a big substitutions coming in right here for the Fayetteville team as they get ready to serve it. Lainey Daniels will be back there serving. She's done an outstanding job so far tonight as just communicating with the entire team. Ooh, gets it over the line, and it's 15-15 again, the third tie. And it seems to be going a little back and forth here for both teams. And it'll be interesting to see if Springdale can take the lead. That would be their first lead into set that they've had yet. And Fayetteville does not want to let that happen. Ooh, but Springdale is still pounding for that point. As Fayetteville puts the ball over once again on Springdale, it rolls over the Springdale side. Oh, and that's a point for Springdale. This is the first lead the Springdale team has taken in any set other than in the first 3 points.
I'm speechless. That, first of all, the serve, that number 8, we don't have her on our roster, but whatever her name is, should serve every time. That serve was so good.
And yeah, it was an outstanding serve, and the Springdale team is continuing to grind. It is now 17-15. Fayetteville has to make some adjustments here to make a comeback onto the Fayetteville team. And number 32, Wells, puts it back over to the Fayetteville team. Fayetteville's not going to let that happen. They're going to strive for that point, but Springdale seems to have some enthusiasm behind them right now. Puts the ball over. Fayetteville, Lainey Daniels putting the ball up into the air. It's a great hit by Fayetteville, trying to put that ball into the court. But, oh, Springdale tries to return the flavor, but just can't quite get it over. Springdale putting it back over once again. Lainey Daniels putting it up to Jane Weller. Back over once again by Hicks, and that is another Springdale point, making it 18-15. Fayetteville is down, and Fayetteville is having that issue that I was talking about earlier of finishing at the very end.
Yeah, Springdale has scored, I'm pretty sure, 11 points to Fayetteville's 3. That's
that's
super impressive.
the first time Springdale. Fayetteville is just lacking in some fundamental areas right now, and they need to clean it up, but Fayetteville has to call another timeout, getting the Springdale sideline very excited, and also some of their parents behind us. And they seem to be in a very comfortable mood right now after having those first 2 sets not go their way, which is very good to see a team still be relaxed and start to make that little comeback for themselves. The timeout is continuing to roll, and Coach Phelan is not giving as quick as a talk as she usually does. It seems to be quite a bit longer right now. The girls listening pretty intently right now. Firmly talking to them. The Springdale team, I believe, is about to come out before the Fayetteville team, or maybe just at the same time. And they are ready to start this one back up after that timeout. Springdale with 19, the Volley Dogs with 15. And there's going to have to be a bit of adjustment on the Fayetteville side to get this win right here quickly. The Springdale side getting ready to put up that ball. Wells will be putting the ball up once again. She does an outstanding job of getting it over the net. Unruh to Weller, over to Hicks, and that is a spike. That is a point for Fayetteville. Outstanding, coming straight out of that timeout with some aggressiveness by the Fayetteville side.
I cannot tell you enough how much Fayetteville needed that point. If you are going to come back against the Springdale, who had a 4-point lead, sorry, the biggest lead they've had all game, who has come back and scored so much on this Fayetteville team, especially Fayetteville making that serving error.
Yeah, another error by the Fayetteville side. They have to clean that up if they want to win this game. Fayetteville has to get in the mental mindset that they can win this game, and we will see another serve by the Springdale side, and they are ready to put it back over to the Fayetteville side. The Fayettille side is going to have to communicate to get this ball over. Outstanding play right there by Fayetteville, but Springdale denies it. Oh, and a big deny on the Fayetteville side, making them score another point. Fayetteville now just a little, this is a little strange to say, but they are losing to that Springdale team. I still have to get used to that after the first 2 sets. But Springdale is leading now 20-17 on the Fayetteville Volley Dogs. Springdale putting it over the net on Fayetteville. A try to save, a good save by Springdale, puts it back over the net to the Fayetteville side. Fayetteville putting it straight up. Outstanding spike by Unruh, but blocked by the Springdale front 3. Put over by the Fayetteville team, and that will be another point for the Springdale team, making it 21-17. The Fayetteville Volley Dogs are down right now.
Yeah, Springdale has played super well. The Volley Dogs, they've got to play like they did in the first 2 sets. They've got to calm down. You cannot let this Springdale team, who I've never seen this team so hyped up for a singular point ever. I mean, it's super impressive. I mean, it's obviously helping their team a lot. Whatever works, works.
And Braxton right there, you saw an outstanding point that Fayetteville needed. The sideline, the student section, the parents, and the team on the court knew that they needed that point right there. It is 18-21. It's a pretty close game right now. And Fayetteville's going to have to really push themselves right here to finish this game out. Claire Cooper serving the ball over to the Springdale side. Springdale, with a miscommunication, hits her right in the chest, and that's another point for the Fayetteville side. 19-21. Springdale holding on to that lead. All Springdale has to do is score a couple more points, and they will win this game.
Yeah, but you can't. Fayetteville's 2 points behind them.
Oh,
and
yeah. Don't sleep.
Fayetteville's coming back. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. But Springdale's got to keep. Springdale's got to keep playing as well as they have if they want to win this set.
Springdale making it hard for Fayetteville to keep that win. Fayetteville putting it right back over to Springdale, getting it out of bounds. That's another point for Fayetteville. Fayetteville is now down by 1 point. As you said, you felt it in your bones, Braxton. Fayetteville is making quite the little bit of a comeback right here, but they need to hold it in to make sure they can win this set. Springdale gets ready in their defensive positions as Fayetteville serves the ball over with Claire Cooper. Claire Cooper putting it over to the Springdale side. Fayetteville with the block. No one knew what to do right there for Springdale. It is now 21-21. That comeback has happened, and Springdale calls a timeout with the momentum shift to the Fayetteville side, and we're going to have to see how Springdale handles a little bit of a comeback by the Fayetteville team.
Yeah, Springdale has played super well, but they cannot let this Fayetteville team get any more momentum than they have. Fayetteville got to keep playing as well as they have. They've scored, I think, 6 points in a row now. Playing super well. I mean, Coach Thomas for Springdale definitely telling the team that you cannot let them get this momentum.
The Fayetteville team is out early once again. It seems Fayetteville's back in the rhythm of things, or at least they feel like they are. But I mean, it's still anybody's game right here. You can't give it to anyone yet. Springdale is having an absolutely outstanding set, and they have earned a win if they do get this set under their belt. But Fayetteville is definitely in contention to totally take this one away. And if they can, they will win this game with 3 sets under their belts. Now Fayetteville will be serving it off. Claire Cooper doing the honors, putting it over to the Springdale side. Springdale putting the ball back up to the Fayetteville side. It's out, and that's another point for Fayetteville, making it 22 for Fayetteville, 21 for Springdale.
Yeah, super well played there by Fayetteville. I mean, 22-21. Fayetteville finally has the lead now, and I think since they hadn't had the lead since, I think when they're at 12 points.
And if Fayetteville keeps making errors like that, they can't quite get it. Lainey Daniels will be subbing out Claire Cooper after that serve, and that is another point for Springdale, tying it up once again. And it is anyone's game at this point. I will be surprised to see who can take this one. Both teams are definitely able to take it if they want it. Fayetteville putting the ball up, going up by Unruh over the line. That's another point for Springdale, making it 23-22. Springdale is up. Fayetteville is going to have to keep pushing themselves right here. They can't make simple mistakes like those. And we are in a close situation here in Bulldog Arena. The ball being put back up by Fayetteville again. A nice spike by Amelia Watley. It's going back over to the Fayetteville side. Saved by Fayetteville. And on this third one, can they get it by Unruh? And it's put back up the Springdale side, getting that ball into the net. And that is another point for Fayetteville, making it 23-23. A 2-point game to whoever can take it.
You got to wonder if Springdale's going to crack under the pressure here. Fayetteville needs 2 points to win it. If they score, you have to win by 2, mind you. So if Fayetteville scores 2 points in a row, they will win this game. Springdale cannot crack under the amount of pressure they have on the film right now. They cannot let Fayetteville pull away here.
Yeah, we've seen these teams go back and forth too much for me to say that anyone's going to get a 2-point lead. Oh, and Fayetteville does take my words straight out of my mouth right there and tries to get that 2-point lead, making it 24-23. The Volley Dogs are up right now, and Springdale's in their defensive formations, getting ready for the serve from Jaden Weller. It goes back up and in the air. The Springdale side returning the favor to Fayetteville. Hits the net, and that is a win
That'll
for
get
Fayetteville. That's their 3rd set, and that's the game. And wow, impressive. The monkey is going on for the student section right now. As it seems as the student section also gives high fives to the Fayetteville team as they walk out from their win right there. Outstanding game by both teams, and Springdale putting in their best efforts but just couldn't quite get there. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jay Beasley from Bulldog Arena with my co-host
Braxton Moline,
and we will see you here next game.
And then Thursday on the road to take on Harbor. On behalf of Fayetteville Public Schools, we want to wish everybody a safe and happy evening. Thank you.